Hey guys, this is another episode of Real Life Solutions with Uncle T. I got another question that I received about the violence that goes on inside of prisons. I guess someone has some questions as to whether they wanted to be a correction officer, and they wanted to know, is it a place where you can get hurt? And pretty much, yes. The answer is yes. You can get hurt in prison, not only as an inmate, but even as a correctional staff. Right now, the prison job openings are open all across the country. And just the Corey group, who does statistics, said that almost 1/2 of U.S. corrections have an annual turnover rate of 20 to 30%. Even the National Institute of Justice says that some institutions have a 48 to 55% turnover rate. It's crazy. Even the state of Texas says they have a 48% in the state of Texas, 48% turnover rate. Why is that? Workforce demands, labor market, organizational structure, climate, communication between management and staff, the stress, the burnout, all the crap that you have to take. 38% leave the first year. 50% of correctional staff leave correctional facilities within 5 years. That says a lot. Even the Bureau of Prisons, one of my old job, that they're so short right now. They have job openings with the Bureau of Prisons. If you want to work for the Federal Bureau of Prisons, it definitely makes a lot more money than you will make with the state or wherever state you're working for. Definitely lots more money. But they're so short right now. They got their cooks, they got nursing staff, they got the gym workers working on post as correction officers. And these guys are working 10 to 12 hours a day. So a lot of things can happen inside of a prison. And I just want to go right out the top, and I just want to definitely say that my hat goes off to anyone who wants to do this job as a correctional officer or work in a prison, because it's hard work. You wear so many hats, and even when I started in 1988, you don't never get the respect you deserve. You don't get the respect you deserve. I want to show you a video. Viewer discretion is advised. An officer was attacked by 2 inmates, and the inmate had a shank and shanked the officer 32 times. And this was footage that was released by the prison. And I want you to see what goes on inside of a prison. And I'm gonna kind of narrate it a little bit to give you an idea. These are the type of things that go on in the daily life of a correction officer. And that's why you have to have your head on a swivel. You have to be knowing your surroundings, and you need to know what is going on. And just watch this clip, and I'll be right back to talk to you more about it. As you can see, we have a video where the 2 inmates attacked this one officer in the infirmary. Attacked him with 32 strokes to the body. And you had other inmates that were around who were watching, And I really think that the inmates knew what was going to go down. I think that was one of the reasons they why they got missing, because they didn't want any part of it. If you look closely, you see here where the camera footage was. There was 3 cameras. And they're gonna bring up the first camera. The first camera will show, here it is, the officer right now is actually going to the door. That is the officer right there, who was going to the door with the 2 inmates standing to the side. Okay, the door opens. As you can see, the top 2 cameras above that, you got inmates that are already in the hallway there. Now they're going through the sally port. And as you can see, the second camera is now showing where he actually lets them into the infirmary. You got 2 inmates sitting here against the wall waiting to be seen by the nurse. You got 1 officer that's inside, and I guess at that time the officer, may have taken the handcuffs off of that inmate that's inside. And the other inmate, as you can see, the other inmate is right here where my cursor is. He's standing right here. And the other inmate is inside the infirmary, and you have the other 3 right out to the side. As you can see, they're all conversating. It looks like, I'm not sure what they were actually doing. I guess they were all waiting to see the nurse. As you see, the officer is inside the, you see the door over there to the left. The officer is in there with the inmate in the nurse's station. So I'm not sure what the conversation was with those inmates standing out in the hallway with the guy in the jumpsuit and with the one that's already inside. I'm not sure that they even know that they even had any type of weapon or a shank or anything on them. I don't think, because they don't appear that they were nervous or anything of that nature to think that something was going to go down like that, unless they were just diabolical. They were a part of the plan. So I'm not sure exactly, what the plan was. As you can see, the inmates are still sitting out there talking. You still got the 1 inmate right here who he brought down with him. You still got 1 inmate inside the infirmary. You still have 3 right here. 1 gentleman's right here, and you have the other 2 on the other side. And you can see, most of my fellow correctional officers, you can see how this all go down. Now you see that these 2 inmates right here, they left. Okay, 1 went inside the room, the other one disappeared. It makes you wonder if they knew what was going on. Okay, and you see that there's 1 more inmate still sitting out here, but the other 2 got missing real quick, as you can see. And we see that, you see that in every day as a correction officer. You may take an inmate to the infirmary, or you may be escorting someone, and you may not even give it a second thought. Now, as I can see right now, this inmate right here does not have any handcuffs on at all in the orange jumpsuit. Okay, so we still got the 1 inmate that is actually sitting on, looks like some type of box. And as you can see, that the other 2 inmates, they never came back out. So it makes me wonder, what was getting ready to go down and they knew about. And as you can see, the gentleman right here, like he got a bottle of water or something, and you see him slowly backing off. He's slowly backing away. And and you have the other inmate that's inside the infirmary. Okay, now you look at this guy, you see him hide. Now you saw him, now you see the other inmate is over here um, with the officer over here, and you see that other inmate came over here and he disappeared right when he got ready to go in. So it kind of gives me an idea. It makes me think that all three of those inmates knew what was going down, just by their behavior, just by the way they disappeared. And I'm pretty sure they heard screaming or something, and they never came out of that room. They never came out. But yet you got the nurse over here screaming and hollering out the door trying to get help, because the officer is being attacked. And as you notice, those inmates are still over there in that room. And like I said, two of the inmates disappeared. And then you saw that one grab a bottle of water, and he stood at the door, I guess, to see if the guy was actually going to do what he said. And you saw him slowly disappear into that side room. So it kind of gave me an idea that they were everybody was in on it. So this is how easy something like this could take place inside of the prison system. You can go to work, do your job, and doing your job to the best of your ability. And I just thinking that correction officer never thought that he would wake up today and that he would go to work and that he would be hit 32 times with a shank. And he survived, but it's just the life of a correction officer. These are the type of things that we go through. These are the type of things that I've seen for myself, that every day is a blessing to come home every day, because you just don't know what's going to happen from day to day. And like I said, the officer survived, but this is one of the reasons why turnover rates are so high. This is one of the reasons why officers do not stay correction officers very long, because nobody is really going to have to want to deal with something like this with the low amount of pay. They got the officer out of there, they rushed him to the hospital, and as you can see, the inmate still down on the left. Looks like there's a lot of fluid on the floor, and I'm pretty sure those two inmates that were in there in the infirmary, I'm pretty sure they got dealt with. Not sure if one inmate did the harm to the officer, or were there both inmates that were in there. Wasn't sure, but this is the type of things that happen inside of the prison. As you can see, how easy it is for things to happen, and that officer did not know that today was going to be the day that something like that would happen. And you had one officer, one nurse, and you had 5 inmates, 3 that were sitting in the hallway, 2 were escorted down there, and then you had 5 inmates and 1 officer and one nurse. And anything could have happened, and as you saw, it did happen. And I just say a prayer every day for law enforcement, whether you like law enforcement, hate correctional officers, or if you come from a family where you hate police and all this and that. Nobody deserves to be shanked 32 times. And you leave out that God will protect you, that he will put a hedge of protection around you. He will give you discernment to let you know when something's not right, to be on the watch for things, that he will give you a hedge of protection, that where you will know to not only protect yourself, but to protect your other fellow brothers and sisters that are working in there, correctional staff. And I pray that that you always be aware of your surroundings, and that God would always give you a hunch that, you know, something is going down or something isn't right, or that you need to keep your eyes open, you know. And I pray that for everyone who is out there and work in the prison system. And that's just to answer the question, does that happen all the time? No, it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. Depends on where you work at. The statistics that I gave you earlier, guys be tired, they're worn out, they're overworked, they're burnt out, they don't pay attention to their surroundings, they just want to come to work, do what they got to do, make their 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours, and they just want to go home. But regardless of all that, you still got to be on your toes. You can't get comfortable. Prison is not a place for you to get comfortable, because bad things can happen. But if you learn something from that, if you law enforcement, correctional officer, or if you just a regular person that may be interested as to what goes on inside of prisons, you know, give me the thumbs up. This is Real Life Solutions with Uncle T. I give you real life solutions. I don't sugarcoat. I don't water it down. I just tell you like it is. And I hope you can appreciate that. Any of my videos that you've seen, that's just the way I do. And I got probably about 10 more coming right after this about corrections. And be on the lookout for those. And if you will hit that notification bell and subscribe, whenever I send one, create one, you'll be notified. And until then, you guys be safe. Take care of yourself. Uncle T is out.